Hello everyone, and welcome to my very first Let's Play on my channel. Now, obviously there will be some changes later in the future with the channel and things of that nature, but today I wanted to start a Let's Play of a game that I've been playing a bit on and off for the past couple years, and it's called Dekaron. It is a Korean MMORPG fantasy, I guess, beat 'em up kind of game? I guess. I don't really know. I don't want to categorize a game that well, or that much, I should say. But there's many characters to choose from. This was my character I started back, last month or so. Obviously, you can get much higher than 134. I think the highest you can get to is 192 or something like that. But it's just very time consuming. But today, I want to start a brand new character. And obviously, we have our character selection screen. I think there's, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Apparently, I can't count. There are 12 characters to choose from. There are still 2 more that have not been released, but the ones on the right, I think, are the more newer characters, because I remember a couple years ago it was just these 7 here on the left. But I'm going to quickly run over all the characters, give them a basic rundown, I guess. So first we have the Azure Knight. He can wield single swords, double swords, an axe, double axe, and I think a couple other weapons, but I know he can dual wield single-handed weapons, and he has two-handed weapons, which are more so just like big broadswords and things like that. He specializes in physical attack and defense, but he does have some support skills and abilities and stuff. The Dragon Knight is, I guess, the female version of the Azure Knight. Oh, excuse me. She wields a gigantic hammer. Now, she is short, obviously, because I would guess the knight is, what, 6'5" or something like that? He looks 6-something. Now, the Dragon Knight's only 5 feet tall or something like that, and she wields a giant hammer. Obviously, this is a fantasy game, but she specializes in physical attack, defense, and support by the, as you can tell by the I guess the graph, or the chart here. I don't know what it is. Give me a break. Oh, I shut the table. My bad. She has a lot of skills similar to the knights, but due to her weapon limitations, she doesn't have as much of a variety of things she can do. Now, the Sagitta Hunter is, as it says right here, they can use bow and they can use bows and crossbows as their main weapons. There's a bit of a catch with this character, because if you play as her and you want to, level up super far, or get a really high level, you will need to buy a few different things to go along with your bow or crossbow, but she can also wield a dagger. She specializes in physical attack because she wields a bow and crossbow and stuff. A little bit of defense, a little support, but not very much magic. That's to be expected. The Incarn Magician and the Black Wizard are similar. The Magician wields a staff mainly. She specializes in, obviously, magic and support. The Black Wizard wields orbs. There are 2 orbs that spin around him. He wields. I don't really know what they're called. I don't remember. I played him once for 20 minutes, and that was it. But he is very, very similar to the Magician, with magic and support being his main abilities. The Vicious Summoner and the Concerra Summoner, both are well-rounded characters. They can do a bit of everything. And by do a bit of everything, I mean that their stats are a bit more well-rounded. Excuse me there. My bad. But I know for a fact the Vicious Summoner can wield twin swords and a staff. The twin swords are your source of physical attack, and the staff is your source of magic. And summoning chakras and, things like that to help you and your party, or your guild, or, whatever, if you're going to go raid a dungeon or something. They do have a bit of support, because that comes from their magic skill tree. I know very little about the Concerra Summoner, other than the Vicious Summoner and the Concerra Summoner can both summon creatures to help them. I don't know if they're different or if they're the same, because I have not touched the Concerra Summoner. We have the Segnail and Seguriper. I'm probably butchering that, but what can you do? The Segnail specializes in magic and support. I know for a fact that she has a resurrection skill, but I don't know how useful it may be. Obviously it's useful, but I don't know if it has, like a really long cooldown on it, or I don't know. She wields a blood whip, which is pretty interesting, I think. I don't know what the Seguriper wields, because I haven't touched him either. The Badgie Warrior wields gauntlets, and he mainly focuses on physical attack and defense. He does have a few support abilities, I believe. I don't remember. The Half Badgie, I think. What does it say here? Yes. They use Great Pulsion and Qatar to show their strong features from humans and Badgies without hesitation. I do know they get to wield the gigantic fucking scythe thing. I don't really know. I haven't touched the Half Badgie either. She's similar to the Badgie Warrior, except with a few less support skills and options here, I guess. I'm not really sure. The Alokan is similar to the Badgie Warrior in, stats and abilities and stuff. I do know that she wields a spear, so she mainly focuses on physical attack and support, and obviously she has a bunch of defense. But today, I'm going to go with the Concerra Summoner. Now, I have not thought of a name, but I'm going to come up with one off the top of my head, and I will, I'll be back in however long it takes me to come up with a name. I've come up with the name Carlon. Get rid of that dash, excuse me. But Carlon. I don't know where this name came from, but I have a running theme with this game. Like, for myself, all of my characters have to begin with the letter K. Like, their names have to begin with the letter K. And my Vicious Summoner was named Keznak. So I thought it would be something similar to that, but I didn't want to be too similar, so I don't know. I just thought of Carlon. And this will be my character for this Let's Play. Where's she at? Down here. In this game, there is no nudity at all, but there is blood and stuff like that, so, obviously there's no nudity, otherwise this game probably would cost money to play, but it's a completely free game. It's free to download. All you gotta do is make an account and sign up. And by sign up, I mean make the account and register for the website, and then just download and install the game. That's about it. Now, there are channels you can choose from. The non-PK, just stay away from this one. I'm not sure what its purpose is for being there, but I do know that you can't do a lot of the things, such as dungeons, on this channel. So, Divine Valley has the most players on it. Calibus has some, and Oreed also has some. If I wanted to play on Divine Valley, then the game would lag the fuck out a lot. Please excuse my language, that's just how I am. But I'm gonna go with Calibus, and this is the Seraphi server on Dekaron Genesis. This is the global version of Dekaron, and this is not a private server or anything. This is, the game everyone can play, and you don't have to worry about certain things. So, let's get right into it. Also, I apologize if the music is kind of loud. I will definitely turn that down a little bit when we get back into the gameplay here. Just kind of waiting for the loading screen. The loading screens are, well, they take a little bit, but, you know, well, sometimes they're really, really short, but sometimes they take a little bit. Honestly, it's not too bad. I mean, it takes about the same time as Skyrim on console, so it's not too bad. So here we have our quest log, and this is where if you see Antarctica. Now, let me tell you right now, this game will lag. Like, let me take that out of there real quick. This game will drop frames and lag at random. Well, maybe not at random, but it kind of depends on what's on the screen. You know, this is your main area where you will find all sorts of stuff. This is the very first area within the game. Let me just increase the frame rate there for a second. You have all this stuff here. This is Antarctica right here, and all of this out here is also part of Antarctica. Give me a sec. There we go. I apologize if the music was too loud. I just changed it, but I lowered it down some. If it's too quiet, I'll find out within the next, hour or so, I guess. But this is the main map of Antarctica right here. Now you have your NPCs all over the place, mainly in this town area here. But if we look at our quest log, which you can open up with the Q key, you can see you have a general quest. Talk to Iron Blood Kale, who is this guy right here. Now, these are various quests or just bits of dialogue you can, interact with, I guess. But the ones with the red exclamation point or the question mark means that's the main quest that you should do, because they give you a butt ton more XP than, say, a side quest like Purifying Deneb River. So, well, and these ones are just side quests, I guess. You don't get anything for completing that quest. So let's do recruiting in-car wings. I will tell you this now as well. A lot of the dialogue here I like to skip by, because the game would be really, really long if you decided to read through it. But for the sake of, telling you guys, I don't want to have to make you sit here and pause the video and all that. I'm going to read through ones that, don't take forever to do. So, this is the first main quest of the game. Hey, don't you want to register In-Car's Wing to make a better world? Well, work will be difficult, but you can gain pride and honor, I promise. You can get rewards if you manage to deal with the difficulties. If you want to register, go find Fionel and say you want to register for In-Car's Wing. Fionel is at Antarctica's west side entrance. So I will register. So now we have a main quest. And we can see here, clear NPC, which means this is the NPC you will take the quest to. If it says complete, that means you go to this NPC, whatever it may be, to turn in the quest. Of course, you got your quest description in case you forget. So we have to go to Fionel at East Gate of Antarctica and join In-Car Wings. Now let's see where that's at. You can open up the map with M. So if we look over here for NPCs, we can scroll down and find a whole bunch of NPCs. So what's her name? Fionel? That's right here, In-Car Guardian Knight. She is in this area here. Now if you pull down the map with the letter M again, the mini-map up here will show the arrow of the NPC you clicked on. So you don't have to keep doing this over and over and over again to find out where you are. All you gotta do is click on the NPC and pull it down, and there you go. The arrow will show you which way to go until they are on the mini-map, and then it will show the exact location. Now, the rewards you can get for quests are, well, it depends. Obviously, the farther you get, the more XP and dill you're going to get. Now, EXP is obviously your experience points, which is how you level up. Dills is the equivalent of your money in this game. You can get up to like 10 billion or something like that. It's some stupidly high number, but you can get, I would say, a really high amount of money or dills in a decently short amount of time, because there's a few reasons why I'm going to say save your dills. That's very important. Save your dills. Trust me. I'll go over that a bit later. But with each quest, you will most likely get a reward. See, each class has their own reward. It will be a weapon. So for the Concerra Summoner, which is my class, I will have a +7 dual blade, which is really good. Like, computer, please stop lagging. Now, oh, you can also press the plus up here to also bring up the thing. Now, premium services, select warp and return point, that's something else I'll get into in a bit. Now, to reduce... See, people can just drop items whenever they please. Speaking of items, let's go into the inventory. Whenever I'm going to go into a menu or an inventory, I will pull the camera down by holding right click, because if you have it, horizontal with your character, your frame rate will decrease depending on what's on the screen. If you pull it straight down, all you're doing is looking straight at the ground and your frame rate will be much higher. But most computers and laptops today can run this game no problem. But here we have our dual blades. We need 3 strength, 3 dexterity to wield it. Their job, or your class, I guess, is required for the Concerra Summoner. So only the Summoner of Concerra can dual wield this, or can equip this as a weapon. Oh, excuse me. Melee attack, 16 to 17 damage. Magic attack, 8 to 9. Now, this is a Genesis level up package. If you right click it, you'll get a bunch of things here in this item list that I can't really, pull a mouse over to, show you, but if you hover over it, it'll show you the description of the item. It's binded, so I cannot trade it with other players. So let's just open it up. Warning: when a package item is opened, the duration and binding of all included items will be applied. Confirm. So we've got a bunch of things here. We've got a couple chests, another level up package. That's for level 50, so we'll put that to the side. We shouldn't take too long getting to the level 50. Doesn't take very long. Divine Echoes special 30-day exchange box. Now let's open that and select the item and hit OK. This is a mount. You can use it in the mount icon up here. You click it, bring it up there, drop it in, and there you go. Now you have a mount, and it only lasts for 30 days. I believe 30 days as long as you're on the game, but I don't remember, because I know some things continue even if you're not logged into the game. I think this is one of them, but I can't remember. But you can summon a mount to increase your speed by 32%. Now, when you're on the mount, you cannot attack, you cannot do anything like that. You can't use magic, none of it. All you can do is move around quickly. Now, you've got a couple tabs up here. This is your main equip tab. This is where you can put growth items. This is where you can put your wings. You get wings later. You can equip a pet. I'm not sure how to get a pet in this game quite yet. When I find out how, I'll go over that then, I guess. And this is where you can put your mount. Now, each one of these, at least these two, have a shortcut. The pet, you press the T key, and it summons your pet. Press J, and that's how you summon your mount. You can equip earrings here and here, and these are rings and necklaces. You can equip 4 at a time, as long as they're not duplicates of say, a special version of something. But other than that, you can equip 4. Now you've got your boots, your pants, gloves, armor, and helmet. Or as I like to call it, the chest plate, because armor is the whole set of armor. All of this is armor to me. I like to call this the chest plate. And now we have oh, I'm sorry. Going ahead of myself here. You can equip a bracelet here. You can equip a belt here, and another bracelet here, one for each arm. Now we have another tab where you can have a second set of armor and accessories. And here's where you can put on a costume and where you can put an emblem. I don't know what the emblem is. I haven't seen anything on that yet. But you need to get a costume by either buying it off of the website store, or I believe you can get some in the game, but you have to get a whole ton of a certain item to get it. This is where you can equip a weapon, and this is where you can equip another weapon. You mainly want to equip a weapon here on the left, and as it says here, you can equip weapons: shield, azure knight, guard arm for the Loken. Also, bolt/arrows for the Secita hunter can be equipped here. So, say if I had 2 of these, I could not equip both of them in both of these slots. You can only equip one. It says dual blades, but that's because it's a blade. It's double-sided, obviously. Now you can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel. I scroll out usually because I like to see more. But let's get back into these packages here. Super Noble Potion times 300. You will get Super Noble Health Potion A pack and a Mana Pack A. There are 300 of each. So, and we can equip these into F1 through 10, those slots. So if you press F1, you will get instant health regeneration. Now these ones heal 820 HP and 820 MP. The red bar is your HP, obviously. The blue bar is your MP, which is your mana, which you use you use that to use your skills over here. Your HP is obviously, your life. If it goes down, then you die and you have to respawn. Now you respawn in Arctica here unless you reset your spawn point. Now this green bar here is your shield. That only comes into play when you're going into player versus player stuff. So for me, I will not be doing anything PvP until I can find a friend or another person who will be willing to show it off with me. But that's not going to be till much, much later. So that won't be, it won't be shown off for a while. Now on the side of each of these little sections here, you can take it and move it around. So if I wanted to have my health way up here, I could. But I like mine at the bottom because I like to see stuff in the game. That's just me. Oh, look at that. Well, I did not know this, actually. So, you can actually preview the costumes and all sorts of crap. Now, if you hit refill cache, you will go up to a thing. My bad. That was unexpected. This is your actual money. You buy stuff using this. I actually didn't even know this was here because I'm blind. Honestly, I'm very blind. Forgive me, I'm going to ignore all that until way later, for when I know more about it. You have basically on the sidebar here, I wouldn't call it a sidebar, but you have shortcuts to your stuff. So if you wanted to go into the help or the quest log, you just hit that. If you don't want to use the keyboard, it's basically like a shortcut. So if I wanted to go into guild, I would press G, or I can click on that, and that brings up the guild menu, which you can't go into until you go to a guild master here in Arctica. There's a couple other things here I want to go over, but at least not for now. But let's keep going over these packages. Here we have the Holy Water of Almighty. It lasts 3 in-game days. And it has a bunch of effects. Remote shop, remote mail, NPC wharf, party member wharf, free portal, personal XP 30%, all stats plus 35, instant dungeon entrance fee minus 10%. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. Now, if you use this now, play the game non-stop until you feel like you should get off. Like, do not sit there with the game or your character idle. It will waste your time with this item. Trust me, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save this item until way later in the levels because I don't want to waste it. The early levels up until maybe 90 is pretty grindy, but you can get up there, or it's not. I wouldn't say it's pretty grindy. It's very quick until you get to about 90, and then you actually have to farm monsters and bosses and stuff with, it's just time consuming. But the Holy Water of Almighty will reduce that time by 30% because you get a crap ton more XP for everything. Like if I killed one enemy at level 1, I would probably level up maybe once or twice, but with this, I would level up 3 or 4. I don't really know. It's just how this game is. It gave you a really high EXP boost, which I'm very happy with, but, Alright, moving on. The Blessing Warpstone times 10. Let's open that, select our Warpstones, and the Warpstones we can use to... I did this earlier, I don't remember how I did it. Let's see, where is it? No, it's not an option. Alright, well, I forget how to do it. I think it's up here somewhere. You can use these Blessing Warpstones to instantly teleport yourself to an area of which you select. Let's see, I think it was... Oh, here we go. If you want to know which hunting ground is suitable for your level, please click. So let's click that. Carlon is level 1. Would you like to warp to the hunting ground within your level range? So we can go to Arctica. That's all we can go to right now. We cannot go into any dungeons. We cannot go to any dungeons yet. We are not high enough level. Oh, I dropped my headphones. Oh no. So, for the moment, we have 10 Blessing Warpstones, but I'm going to try to save them the best I can. I will try to show off some dungeons. I don't know if I'm going to get to show off all of them, because there's a lot of them. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to all of them. But I'll show off the ones that I feel comfortable doing and the ones that I know I can do. So you can use that to transport yourself to that area. So if I were level, say, 20, I would be able to go to another area, which would be here. Now let's open up this Act 18 Lucky Piece box. Now we have a Lucky Piece. It's Symbol of Dragon Knight. Please keep this item for Act 18, which is coming soon. So if you open it, just keep it. It doesn't have a time limit on it, neither does the stone, or the Blessing Warpstone. These don't have time limits on them. Keep the Lucky Piece because it's probably going to be used for something later within the game's timeline, or life. It hasn't come out yet. When it does, I'll go over it. But that was the inventory. So now we can open up our stat menu with C. I'm just going to put that over top that right there. Now we have abilities. Class Concerra, we have a bit of information here. You got your resistances on the side. We do not have any resistances. That comes with magic. Or I'm sorry, not comes with magic. You can get resistances from putting on accessories and armor that has those abilities on them. And, stuff like that. Now, I do not know anything about how this character works. As a character, I don't know a good stat build for it, but here it says The higher the strength stat you have, the higher melee attack, critical hits, and block stat you will get. Exception for Concerra Summoner, ranged attack, critical hits, and block will increase. So, for this character, ranged attack, critical hits, and block will increase. The dexterity will increase our melee attack, critical hits, block, and guard. The HP, or the heal, it will increase our HP and our shield, which is the shield here, and our HP, obviously. And this is the spirit you have. It will increase your MP, magic attack, and critical hits that you will, those stats. Huh. Well, look at that. Actually, I'm gonna put that up like that. I'm gonna change the efficiency like that. Now you have DK stats. This we will not be getting into until much later. And by that I mean not till level like 130. Or, stuff like that. But even then, that will be the end of the character. I don't plan on going much further than 130. I will show off a couple dungeons because they get much harder the higher level you are. So I will try to go over those, but it's very grindy and I don't want to spend, months and months on one character. It's not fun. So, and then we have info, just some other stats here that aren't really relevant yet. And then if we open up our skills with the letter K, we have our skill menu. So far, the magic skill tree is the exact same as the vicious summoner's skill tree. Yep. I believe this is the exact same except for this final skill. I think all of this is the exact same. I might be wrong on that, but... So we have our magic skill tree, or vicious mastery. It's mostly poison magic, which to me doesn't really seem to do much, but of course if you wanted to go into a magic build, you can do that. All of this magic is very useful. On the left half of this page you have your basic attacks, your attacking magic, and on the right you have chakras you can summon. Each one does a different thing. Like this resistance chakra all stats will increase who are near the region. So if you summon it and you be right next to it, all of your stats will increase. So you'll have resistance to various things. I don't know what that says, but it says Shadow Cree. So I'm going to call it the Shadow Cree. The Blade Mastery tree. So we have some skills here. I haven't seen any of these, to be honest. Well, I've seen some. I haven't seen all of them yet, but... Ooh. I will be going over all of these skills as they, as we get the chance to unlock them. So, for the moment, all of these are not going to be used. Transformation, we have our cross-hack skill. It's not very good. That's our very first skill we have. Just don't bother putting skill points into it. Bloodbats. This is probably the most life-saving skill in the whole game. Because when you use it, it deals damage to the enemy and it heals you back. So, I don't know if it's by a percent or if it's by if you hit them, but to me it seems if I hit them, I get like 10,000 HP back in like 3 seconds. It's really, really good. The Skin of Foreign Realm, this will basically increase our defense power and gives back part of the opponent's attacking power, so it's like a reflection. So if you get hit with like 200 damage, they'll take 20, I think. I think that's the percentage. I don't remember. Cane Hawk is a skill that will... I haven't really used it. I don't think I've ever touched it. It says summon a hawk with excellent sight and with poison property. After attacking the area, control the hawk's eye to enhance your accuracy skill. I'll go over it once we unlock it, but I don't really have enough to say about it just yet. Now, the summons are the exact same. I'll go over these as we get them. The Transup tree. This is all stuff that me I will not be going over at all because it said, see here, you have to be level 131 and you have to be a new Esquire. I don't know how to get that, the new Esquire thing. I don't know how to get it. So hitting 131 isn't too bad. Hitting 131, you know, all this stuff isn't too bad. Getting to 160 though, it's like asking a little bit much of me. So I personally will not be going into magic very much. Of course, I will have them, but I will not be going into them very much. I will probably increase the Vicious Mastery, and then I'll put some points into the chakras, but mainly I'm going to be doing the physical attacking, the Blade Mastery tree. So that's that. Now let's continue on with the main quest. Due to me being a performance junkie, I don't like to have, you know, if I see I'm recording at like, you know, like anything less than 60 frames on a game I can easily run 60 frames on, I get a little upset. But here we are at Final. She's got a couple of her own side quests. I will not be doing very many side quests. I'll only do them if they require me to get leveled up massively to continue on with the main quest, but for the moment, you don't need to do any... Yeah, I don't think you need to do any side quests for a decent while. There's just no reason other than the extra experience, I guess. So let's turn in the Recruiting In-Car Wings quest. Kale sent you, right? At first you didn't like it because you said it looks like touting, but you were quite enthusiastic. I can see many people are coming. So are you going to register In-Car's wing? Yes, I will register. And with that, we've leveled up to level 3. Now, if we open up our skills, we have 2 skill points here. We cannot put any skill points anywhere because we do not have skills yet. We have to level up more to unlock them. Now, if we open up our stat menu with the C key, we have 10 stat points. We can distribute them into any of these. Into strength, dexterity, healing, or spirit. I'm going to wait for a while to distribute these points. I know it's going to be quite annoying if you have OCD like me. I like to distribute them immediately, but I'm going to do my best to not put them anywhere until I figure out more about this character and the proper build I want. So, you know, I don't know much about her. I don't know what her skills are going to do. But it says here that Final has another main quest for us. Kill Takim. I have a job for you. Did you know that the lizard men are trying to threaten Arctica? According to our informant, a young leader named Takim has appeared recently. Please defeat Takim in Lizard Man Village and go to Roger. Well, it might be a tough mission for a rookie, but we don't have enough time to give you anything easier. I can take care of the lizard men. So we have our first actual quest here. Kill Takim. I'm not going to be reading the quest descriptions as they are tedious, and I don't want to spend, you know, it's already been like 38 and a half minutes here into this video. I don't want to spend another half hour reading quest descriptions. Now, your character can move quite slowly, but there are enemies all over the place. These are moths. They don't have much health, but our character so far is quite weak. Oh, look at that. We got a helmet. We got a helmet for our character for a level 7. So we have to level up and be level 7 first. Now, if you remember, turning in that quest to Final gave us a weapon. We got our dual blades plus 7. And if you compare the stats on them, it's ridiculous. Melee attack 164 to 173, and magic attack is 132 to 140. Compared to 16 and 17 and 8 and 9, let's swap that out. Now, you don't need to keep any of your old weapons, because this one can carry you for at least 40 levels, I'm going to say. At least until you get the next plus 7 item. You'll get that in a main quest later on. You do not need to keep your old stuff, so we can just drop that on the ground here. Mostly because it's not binded to us, so we can drop it. Now this one is also not binded, so if it felt like it, we could drop it. So here we got a feeble lizardman. If they have a red health bar, usually it means they're a bit too strong for you, but... sorry, but I don't want to join your party here. Usually it means they're a bit too strong for you, but obviously not. They just have more health. So now that we're level 4, they have a white health bar, meaning they're pretty normal, pretty neutral. And see, we have our skills here on this bar here. We have cross hack here on the 1 slot, meaning if we press the 1 key while targeted on an enemy like this lizardman, we can use that skill. And it deals a bit more damage. So, and since this one recharges fairly quickly, we can use it many times. But here Takim has respawned because someone else has taken our kill. We can kill him now by ourselves. Now there is a setting in the menu, like the options and settings menu, where you can set your potions to in F1 and F2 slots. You can set them so they automatically refill your health or mana depending on how low your health gets. You know, so if it gets to like below 20%, the nearest health potion within these slots will heal you. So it will use the first one it finds. So it will hit the F1 key on its own and it will heal you. Now we still have 20 stats. We hit level 4. Now we could farm him, but I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit. We have our Blade Mastery here, so now we have a bit more attacking power and defense power. Here we have our first actual skill. It's called Spin Blade. Stab strongly with blade while marching forward. Much English. So let's test it out. See how much damage it does. So it's basically just like a lunge forward and you use your dual blade to stab. You know, that's basically it. It recharges very quickly because it's a one-hit move. It only attacks one time. So let's kill Takim again with it. And this skill only attacks one enemy at a time. I will point that out. It only attacks one enemy at a time. So let's kill Takim one more time, and we'll head back to Roger. Where is Roger at? Oh, I will mention this now. These feeble lizardmen, I don't know what that was. What was that? Cacao. It is a cruiser beer raffle ticket. I don't know anything about that. Forgive me, but I do not know everything. But the more you collect, the higher your chance will be to win a prize. It is an event item. Alright, well, if I find out where that's at, I will likely go over it. But enemies like these feeble lizardmen here in Arctica do not attack you willingly. You have to, you have to attack them first. So since we have attacked Takim, he will attack us. If we stand there and do nothing, he will not attack us. Now, enemies in most areas of the game will attack you if they see you. So, but off that kill on Takim, we leveled up again. Here at level 7, we have another skill for the Vicious Mastery Tree. I don't want to go over that yet. We can reset our stats one time later. I don't want to do that yet because I want to have, oh, please excuse my yawning. What even was I saying? I want to have a physical attacking Concerra summoner. I don't want to attack with magic. Though with magic, you can attack at a range and keep yourself out of danger a little bit. I will give it that. That is a pretty big advantage. Because it's either a tanking character or a glass cannon character. Meaning, if you want to play as a tank, you set your stats to the minimum requirements of the highest level weapon in the weapon shop, and then you put everything else into your HP stat. into the healing stat here. I will go over that strategy here in a little bit, but I need to go back and turn in this quest to Roger. Now, we have another skill here called Dual Blade, Twin Blade. And if you see here in the yellow text, it says Dual Blade. That means you cannot use, say, Vicious Throne, which is for the staff. You cannot use this skill or any of these skills here in this skill tree with the Dual Blade. You have to have the Dual Blade equipped to do the proper skills. Same with these. You have to have a staff equipped to use them. So let's test out Twin Blade once we get into a new area. And let's find Roger on our map. Scroll down here. Gotta find Roger, Tower Guard. So he's right about there in the Tower of Guard. Opened up pet management by accident. So now we just head this way, according to the minimap here. Whichever way you're turning, there will be a flash, like a flashlight kind of thing going on. It will show you which direction you're facing. Now, the basic controls are WASD keys to move, space does nothing. 1 through equals key on the keyboard are what trigger your skills. You can also left click and hold to move your character. You can also left click and let go, and the character will move to that spot. This is another way to move around. I don't like it too much because I feel I have more control with the keyboard instead of using the mouse, but hey, that's just me. So I'll meet you guys when I head over to Roger. Alright, here we are at Roger. We're in the Tower of Guard, still in the map of Arctica. So there are different enemies throughout the different, I would say, sections of Arctica. So let's go ahead and talk to Roger. Turn in the Kill Takim quest once I read through this chat. Those otherworldly monsters don't approach this area. I think they're afraid of this guard tower. You should know there. You should know there's a graveyard north of here where thousands of people were buried after the Grand Fall. You shouldn't go there since that place is filled with walking skeletons. Alright, well, let's turn in the Kill Takim quest. You did a good job. Now lizardmen will not bother us for a while. It was nothing. Frederick at the guard tower is actually looking for someone to help him. He's usually too proud, but now he is asking for help. I think he might be in trouble or something. I told him that we only have rookies at the moment, but he just asked me for help anyway. If you don't mind, could you please help Frederick in the guard tower? Alright, I can help him. Oh, sorry about that. I was interrupted by one of my parents. I thought I heard them yelling for me. But anyway, so we turned in that quest. Now we gotta go turn in this quest to Frederick. We'll get some XP and get some dills. So if we open up our inventory, we have... Oh, we can put on the... we can equip the helmet now. And we can see here, it's like a hair tie armor thing. I don't really know. There's probably a name for it, but I can't think of it. But now we have that equipped, and we got some potions here. We've got the same stuff, and we got some dills. So now we just got to go over to Frederick, who is... Yep, this is him right here, in this little tower here. So what we got to do is talk to Frederick real quick.
Welcome to the safety of the temple.
Thanks, Frederick. It's been a few months since we started the purification ritual, but this place is still swarming with overworldly monsters. Let me retry that sentence. It's been a few months since we started the purification ritual, but this place is still swarming with otherworldly monsters. The only good news is that we haven't had any rain. I hate being on duty in the cold rain. So he's got some side quests for us to do, and the main quest here, let's turn that in. Call from Frederick. Nice to meet you. I'm Frederick. I guard the guard tower. Nice to meet you too. What do I have to do? Haha, you are very ambitious. Looks good. Very good. I call for help because there is an increasing number of soldiers' eyes. Because an increasing number of soldiers' eyes are getting injured. What? Huh? Feces can turn into medicine, so please kill Malval and the Great Moth, then collect feces. That's easy. So we gotta kill some Malval and Great Moths, sorry. Now, some quests will have very glitchy titles to them. I wouldn't say titles. So I think a couple of them have glitchy titles, but some of them have glitchy like names for enemies you gotta kill, like Great Mossy underscore really high up, and then Malvalis. Some of them are kind of weird and glitchy, but so if we go out here, we'll find some Malvals right here. Now let's test out that new skill we got. Alright, attacks twice to one enemy. No big deal. Take them out pretty quick. So we'll kill this Malval, and I'll meet you guys back when we have to kill a Great Malval. Did I say Great Malval? I meant Great Moth. Alright, so we've killed 10 Malvals, and now we gotta kill a Great Moth. And conveniently, there's one right here. So let's take him out. He's not too much different than a Malval, excuse me. So that was pretty easy. You know, this is the beginning of the game. I will say a lot of the quests are either gonna tell you go kill this many enemies, come back, and turn it in, or it's oh hey, the quest is already completed. Go talk to this guy and get some free XP. That's pretty much how a lot of the quests are gonna go. But let's turn this quest into Frederick here. Collect sample ore. I will. Thank you. Now I can assure a soldier's eyes. I can cure a soldier's eyes. Well, it's nothing. Northwest of Arctica is a giant pit that is infested by dreadful demons. It's called the Hole of Darkness. What? Ugh. It's called the Hole of Darkness, where the demon Dark Avenger is commanding dark imps to perform rituals and summon demons from the other world. Dark Avenger is also researching necromancy. Necromancy? I don't even know. And black magic to turn members of the purification ritual into demons. Please eliminate those demons before they turn us into their slaves. You can count on me. Or you can say, I'm not fighting demons, that's crazy. If you say no, you basically have to talk to him again and hit you can count on me. There's no sort of funny response, but I'm surprised that you so readily agreed to help us. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. When you head northwest from this Tower of Gar, you will arrive at the Hole of Darkness. Please subjugate 10 Dark Imps and Dark Avenger. They're formidable enemies, so please be careful. Don't worry, I'll be right back. I love our characters' dialogue, man. All of them have the same dialogue, by the way. You don't have any different response depending on your character. It's just all of them have the same default response, but you know. So this quest called Dark Avenger, we gotta kill Dark Imp and a Dark Avenger. We gotta kill 10 Dark Imps, sorry. And here we got a lot of rewards here. For the Concerra Summoner, we get +5 a course pants, boots, and gloves, which is part of a set we'll get. I found another cacao as I was farming the Malvals, and from that quest being turned in, we got some large health potions. They heal 480 HP and MP. They're still not as good as these ones here that we got from that package. But we leveled up some. We're level 15 now, so let's check our skills. Nothing new for the Vicious Mastery Tree. Nothing new for Blade Mastery Tree. Nothing for Transformation. Summons. Now we can get into summons. Here we have the Beast Mastery line and the Libido Mastery line. On the Beast Mastery, we have more so of beast-type enemies like animals and, you know, stuff like that. Our first one we get is Grupain. So we can pull him down to here, and we can summon him. On the Libido Mastery tree, I wouldn't say tree, but line, we have more so of like more poison-based summons. I don't really know what to call them, really. I mean, some, like the Tarantula is obviously a big tarantula. Aldebaran is like a big you know, a big muscle guy who does poison damage, and there's a couple more, but they're more so poison based. The Beast Mastery is kind of mixed. A couple of them do fire, a couple do dark, I believe. I know some do fire. Group Pain does electric damage. Regulus does electric damage. Still nothing in Trans Up. So let's test out summoning Group Pain. So this is Group Pain, our summon bird. Now they do take a bit of mana to summon each time. You know, no big deal though, because we can just heal it right back up. So I think I'm gonna go check out the shops in the main town for some items, and I will meet you there. Real quick, I would like to point this out. You can get on your mount while you have a summon out. This is your mount you get with that that package that you get at level 1. You can have your summon out, and you can, you know, what is the word I'm looking for here? Command. There we go. You can command them to do different things. If you press this little up arrow here, you have a few different things you can make your summon do. This one is attack command. If you hold shift and Q, it goes right to it, and your cursor will turn green. That means that is the status, or I would say command you've given him, and then you find an enemy and see how it's glowing red and yellow back and forth. You click on that enemy, and your summon will start attacking him. Your summons can tank a lot of damage. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure I could go into a really hard boss fight with Group Pain and just win by him taking thousands and thousands of damage. I don't have to do a thing. I would call them overpowered, but I just thought it was worth pointing out that while you're on your mount, you can have your summon out and call them to attack. But here, let's go over the other commands. Independent move, which is allow your summon creature to move at its own will, which is basically if you get attacked, they will attack for you, or they will attack what attacked you. Or if they get hit, they will attack whatever attacked it, basically. Call, which is summon your summoned creature next to you from a distance. So if they're out of range or something, you hit Shift E and they will go right next to you. Stop, which is order your summoned creatures to stand by until your next command, so they will not move, or, right? I think they won't move. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so they won't move until you give them another command. Retreat is retreat your summoned creature, which is, it calls them back. Well, alright. I don't know why that's not working. It might be because I'm on a mount. I don't know. But I'll meet you back in the main town where we'll find shops. Alright, here we are at the shops. Well, let me get off my mount here. These are some of the shops. We have our weapon merchant and our medium weapon merchant, which is basically just this one. Daisy here has, you know, just stuff from, what is it, level 1 all the way up to 61, I think, for both weapon types. No, not both, but it will go past what normal. And then the medium is from whatever it left off with, like 73 all the way up to 130. And then here is also 130. And they are located in the northwest portion of the main town here. And they are all right here in a straight line up in this general area. These guys here, Naste and Lian, are also armor merchants, so you can buy armor from them. Now, the armor has a larger gap in between levels than weapons do, because obviously here it goes up to 66, or let me give you a better example. Like, here's level 3, and then you get the next set at 20, and the next set at 37. So it's kind of like, alright then. And then here we have all the way up to 130. Now, they do cost a decent amount of money. 132, 134. Oh, let me mention this. All of the armor from... It goes in order: pants, boots, gloves, armor, helmet. 130 is the highest level for pants. Unless you get DK armor, but we'll go into that way later. So that would be 130 for pants, but the boots go up 2 levels. So 132 is the highest, and then gloves, 132. Chest plate is 136, helmet is 138. Some armor can go even higher than that, but that's a long ways away. So I have this strategy I came up with here, and it is go into the weapon shop, check the highest level weapon you can get. Now, if you're me and you are a Concerra summoner or a Vicious summoner, they're both... Well, I know for the Vicious summoner, they have a specific build where it's either Glass Cannon or Tank from Hell. It's basically don't put anything into magic. Do not put anything into spirit. Have 2 strength and 6 required spirit. Get the Light Step Staff. In fact, I'm going to buy one and put that on my second equip spot. Never mind. I may have to be... Oh, I remember what I got to do. I got to put 6 spirit in. That's it. And then we can now equip it. Now we can do magic. But here, instead of having to open up each tab individually, we can hit... Or not... well, I guess you could call them tabs, yeah. Tab for the weapon. You can hit the tab key, and it swaps your weapons. Goes from, like, slots 1 and 2 to 3 and 4. So, there's that. But what you want to do is, you want to look at the very first staff, 2 strength and 6 spirit. That's the minimum that you need for that staff to equip it. Get this one, have 6 spirit and 2 strength, and have it equipped in, whatever slot. Now, you want to go to the medium weapon merchant and just look at the weapon for level 130. You want to put your stats at a minimum of 67 strength and 252 dexterity. The staffs kind of don't matter. It's just more points to spend throughout, and it's not a good way to have really high damage or really high health, nothing of that sort. I'm going to go for a sort of glass cannon, but I'm going to put a lot of stat points into the heal stat, just so I can have a lot more health than I did on my other character, which is 134. He's the epitome of glass cannon. He doesn't even have that much damage either. I got my voice cracked. So I'm going to have 67 strength minimum, 252 dexterity minimum. So let's take a look at our stats here. Sorry, I blanked for a sec. So we can close out of the shop. Well, for the moment, let's throw everything into dexterity. So we can close out of the shop and pull up our stat point menu and just hold it down on dexterity. Because we are a Concerra summoner, the higher dexterity means higher melee attack. So we want to put everything into dexterity for the moment. I will be putting more points into strength, healing, and maybe a little bit into spirit to increase my MP, but for the moment, I will not be doing that. It'll be all dexterity just to increase our damage. Now, the armor, it kind of doesn't matter. You don't need to have any specific strategies for it. The only thing that really matters is you have to be that level. Like, for this one, you have to be level 7 to use. Now, enemies can drop armor, but it's pretty rare. It's not worth trying to farm an enemy to get it, honestly. And some people like whoever this guy was, will drop fish. I don't know, what? Some people just like to sit there and fish and get tons and tons of fish, which isn't really a bad idea, but... Oh, this is something new. I haven't... Alright. He's just dropping a ton of fish. You can... Oh, hello? Hold on. So I picked up all those fish. I don't really know if it was worth it, but let me go over this too. If you or another player drops an item like the gray mullet here, over here on the left it'll say discarded item, gray mullet, your ownership will remain for 20 seconds. So if you drop it, you have 20 seconds to decide whether or not you want to pick it back up and keep it. Now, there are some things you can go over with fishing. Fishing in skill shops, there are some that will give you, here, like this one, basic auto fishing rod box for 1 hour. It will auto fish for you for an hour. The skills, well, I learned fishing mastery now. I don't know why you'd level it up. Maybe it's to get more fish or something, rare fish maybe, I don't know. All of these, there's kind of no point to use them, I guess. Now, the baits are pretty important. Each one has their own success rate chance, but they all last for 5 minutes. Like, a kingworm will last 5 minutes, and catch rate success, 65% increase. Now, I'm not going to go too much into fishing until much, much later when I feel that we have a proper amount of, you know... Come here, Group Pain. Alright, well, that's a thing. Group Pain, what are you doing? Okay, well... Here, I'm going to stand here next to this guy, Rodball. I'm going to stand next to him for a little bit, and, well, I feel I've gone over a great bit of information in this first episode here. I've been recording for an hour and just about 8 minutes. I'm going to try to cut it down some into, you know, bits I find important or stuff I'm going to cut down stuff that isn't, I didn't word that great or, you know, something of that sort. But at the moment, I think I'm going to leave it off here, and well, at least for today, because if I'm going to be recording, say, an hour an episode or something, going over a ton, well, this is going to be a long fucking series. I'm just saying that now. If that's the case, this is going to be a really long series. But because this was a beginning series, or like the very first episode where you go over basics and all that, I guess it's understandable that it's an hour long. There's a lot of stuff to explain in this game, and a lot of it isn't told to you directly. You kind of just have to find out after, you know, achieving it. Like, a certain item won't tell you what it does unless you do it, or some give you a bad description of what it does, you know, stuff like that. But so far we haven't run into anything like that. Well, at least for today, I feel I went over what I wanted to go over. So when we pick it up next time on Dekaron with our character Carlon here, we will continue on with our main quest, that being the Dark Avenger, and we'll get ourselves some nice pants, boots, and gloves from, what was it, Frederick? Yep, Frederick will give us some armor once we complete it. The quest isn't very hard, but anyway, when we come back tomorrow or the next day or something, whenever I come back, well, we'll take on that quest and make some decent progress. I want to move on a bit more instead of covering so much of the basics. So, Until next time, I will see you all later.